Minecraft is a game that heavily relies on you clicking your mouse over and over again to complete different mechanics, strategies, and so much more. In more recent years, a lot of players have tried to get higher CPS in order to pull off advanced techniques, and this has resulted in some really weird and stupid clicking methods. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some of my least favorite clicking methods, and explaining to you why exactly they're bad. If you do end up enjoying the video, please do consider subscribing because we're almost at 20k, but with that being said, let's get into it. First things first, I want to talk about one of the dumbest possible clicking methods you can pull off for Minecraft. This is called lip clicking, and it was popularized around a year ago when some YouTubers such as the Blake were able to use this method to their advantage. This clicking method works by picking up your mouse and placing it on your lips and making a really weird vibration with your mouth in order to register a ton of CPS on the mouse, and even though the CPS is really good, it's more useless than you might think. You see, as obviously stupid as it is to pick up your mouse off the table, this actually causes the sensor to not be able to register anything at all, and this will cause your character in-game to not be able to move their cursor or turn or look around and stuff like that. This means that in order for it to actually be useful, lip clicking has to be done after you've perfectly lined up yourself for doing something like a godbridge, and if your situation goes even slightly bad, for example a player starting a fight against you, you're not going to be able to do anything because, well, you can't really fight back. And on top of this method being very ineffective for the game itself, it's just straight up disgusting. I mean, you hold your mouse with your grubby Cheeto fingers every single day and now you're gonna put your mouth against it? Yeah, I don't think so. This clicking method was initially intended to be a joke, but honestly, I've seen way too many people actually using this for things like bridging, and I thought it was worth mentioning. Next up, however, I want to talk about hands down the most popular clicking method in the entire history of Minecraft. Of course, I'm talking about jitter clicking. Jitter clicking goes way back into the early days of Minecraft PvP and other similar mechanics, and over the years, a lot of players have been able to use this method to their advantage to click around 13 to 14 CPS at most. This clicking method is definitely very good, but some of the biggest issues that come along with it are the shakiness that is caused by your wrist tensing up, as well as the pure inconsistency of the method as it's so easy to get tired after doing this for an extended period of time. Another very controversial part about this clicking method is that it's said to be able to cause negative health effects such as arthritis or carpal tunnel. Of course, players that are performing this for hours every single day are definitely going to develop some weird stuff going on with their hands, but whether or not the clicking method can actually cause these health effects is unknown. Players in the community have argued extensively about this topic over the years, and it seems like nobody can really agree, and personally I do think that it's probably not the worst thing you can do, as long as you're not doing it for 37 hours a day. And transitioning back over into some of the stupider clicking methods that have been brought up in Minecraft, we have flying ball clicking. If you're unaware of what exactly flying ball clicking is, essentially you pick up your mouse off the table and hold it in your hand and you drag click one of your fingers along the desk, and this allows for the vibrations in the lower part of your finger to register similar to how a drag click works, and this allows you to get an obscene amount of CPS. A very closely related clicking method to flying ball clicking is the bolt click, which is essentially the same thing, except, well, you flip your mouse upside down. Both of these methods, and especially bolt clicking, are responsible for some of the highest CPS Minecraft has ever seen, but just like lip clicking, because you're picking the mouse up off the table, and your cursor is entirely unable to move regardless of how much you try. With that being said, this clicking method is slightly more viable because you're not using something like your lip, which is really hard to access, and you're still using your hand. The biggest setback is because it requires your hand to move along your desk. You need a lot of mousepad space in order to pull off these clicking methods, but if you do have the room on your desk to pull off these clicking methods, they are actually able to work to do things like diagonal god bridging and a lot more. Because of the extremely high CPS and consistency of these clicking methods, you often will get flagged as an auto clicker, and for that reason I strongly advise that you don't use them on any multiplayer servers. With that being said though, this next clicking method is one that you're actually not allowed to use on any multiplayer servers, and this is scroll clicking. Scroll clicking has been popularized heavily in the Minecraft community for a little over a year now because of Trikes' videos where he pulled off insane amounts of CPS by using an air compressor can against the scroll wheel of his mouse in order to register thousands of clicks every single second. The prime reason that this clicking method is disallowed on any servers is obviously the extremely high CPS, because you will get instantly banned by most anti-cheats. However, there is a much bigger and more broad reason that this method is disallowed, and that is because it uses a macro. In order to actually bind the scroll wheel to left or right click, you have to install a macro onto your computer, and it's not something you can set up within the game itself. External macros are disallowed on pretty much every single Minecraft server there is, and for that reason if you mention your scroll clicking to any staff member or something like that, they're instantly going to ban you. I have to say though, this is one of the funniest clicking methods I've ever seen, and if you are able to pull it off, it definitely is a lot of fun to use in modes like single player where you're not going to have any consequences. The final clicking method I want to talk about is arguably the worst clicking method out there, and this is called desk clicking. This is essentially where you pick up your mouse and slam it on your desk over and over again in order to register CPS. This usually happens because of defective or very sensitive mouse switches, and unless you have the money to spend to buy a new mouse every single week, I definitely don't recommend that you try it out yourself. And with that being said, those are the worst clicking methods that are used in Minecraft to this day, and let me know in the comments what you think about all of these methods. If you did end up enjoying the video, please do consider subscribing because we're so close to 20k, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But with that being said, I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.